might be all over the place because I can't even tell you what this movie is about.
We don't know what it's about. We don't know what people are doing. We don't know what they're called.
Welcome back, everyone, to Movie Night with the Youngs. I am one of your hosts, Nicole.
And I'm Brittany.
And welcome back to another episode. We are doing, let me take it back here. If you are new here, Brittany and I are sisters who rewatch movies from our childhood to determine whether they're just nostalgia or they still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we are doing our theme of movies that scared us but shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And this week is The Dark Crystal
Mm-hmm.
from 1982, directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, starring Stephen Garlick, Lisa Maxwell, Billy Whitelaw, and Percy Edwards.
Oh, it's Jim Henson.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Hanson.
Oh, Jim Henson. Sorry, I apologize. But let's get straight into it. So, I will be very honest. This might be all over the place because I can't even tell you what this movie is about.
We don't know what it's about. We don't know what people are doing. We don't know what they're called.
Yeah. So let's just see how it goes.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thanks. You're supposed to be supporting me.
No, I honestly, I when I called you and told you I was done with the movie, I said, like, unlike the Return to Oz last week, I feel like this one just didn't have a plot.
Yeah.
Or maybe it did, but it was like so simple and it was just about the effects that I just,
Very
or like
subtle.
the look of it. Yeah, that I was like, what are they even doing?
Yeah. What's happening? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of stuff where I was just like, I'm watching you, I'm paying attention, I'm taking notes, but I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. But I will say the visual of this movie is very good.
Oh, yeah, my first one is this movie makes me miss doing things practically instead of CGI. Like all these puppets look amazing. Well,
sometimes
the Gelflings do not. Like the main characters are the worst puppets of this entire movie. But we'll get
not
into
a lot of thought into them. Yeah.
Yeah, but like everybody else looks great.
Yeah.
And like it's nice to see them not be CGI.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I was like, this movie still looks really good today. And it's 2023.
Yeah. Did you watch the TV show?
No.
Oh, I didn't either, but
I didn't even try.
Netflix made like a TV show in I think 2020 or 21, and it looks like they just took everything out of, or from the trailer, it looks like they just took everything out of storage. Like everything looks kind of the same, I think.
Yeah, no, you know how I feel about redoing stuff and turning them into TV shows.
Yeah.
Like just leave this one alone.
But also, I don't care enough about this one to want to watch.
True.
No.
True.
Just don't.
And when we picked this movie, we were talking about how I don't know, I kind of regretted it after. I was like, do I really want to watch this again?
Yeah. It is kind of interesting because Jim Henson and Frank Oz are also, I think, the director pair of another movie we picked this month.
Is it The Labyrinth?
Yeah. So they really messed us up. They were running our nightmares
clearly
during the 80s for sure.
So I'll try to go through the movie the best that I can, but it may just be more of a conversation style for this one.
Sure, let's see.
Because the beginning starts off with like a narration of what is happening. Essentially, there's this dark crystal that has split two worlds apart is what I get from it. And you have the Skeksis is, one species, and then the Mystics. But in reality, they're meant to be one.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a good explanation?
Yeah. There's actually a lot of it's called like exhibition. There's a lot of telling us what happened before or what is happening now through narration. Like there's two other parts here that I'm like, why are they just straight up why are they narrating this right now? Yeah. And the beginning is one of those moments.
Yeah, and it's actually a good like 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's a long intro.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it sets the story. I don't know. But so they kind of show the different species, the Skeksis, where their emperor's dying. Same with the Mystics, who their leader, master, whatever you want to call it, is dying at the same time. And they tell the story of they need part of this. It's a prophecy that a Gelfling is going to get part of the crystal that broke off and needs to put it back, I guess, and then everyone becomes one. That's an
Mhm.
awful explanation, but
That's pretty much it.
that's really it. And the Skeksis are like these weird, for some reason they remind me of Splinter from Ninja Turtles, but like way, way, way creepier.
Mm.
But like when
That's
I
a
see them, I
good
see Splinter.
that's good. I actually saw the, vultures from Jungle Book, just with,
Oh
like,
yeah, that
random
too.
hair and
Yeah,
wrinkles,
that too.
but I'll allow Splinter. I think that's a he's an animatronic puppet as well, so,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
they're
they do a
creepy.
very good job. Like they are really creepy looking.
Yeah, well, these ones, but like I said, there's
Mhm.
some puppets in here that just make no sense,
Well,
or
yeah,
there's no
yeah,
effort.
yeah. And then the Mystics are like these
Dinosaurs.
mm, I was like Snuffleupagus from
That makes sense. Frank Oz and Jim Henson worked on Sesame Street. Or
Oh,
not Sesame
really?
Street, the Muppets, the Muppets.
Okay, yeah,
The
yeah.
Muppets.
Huh. But they're creatures that have like multiple arms, tails, little staffs.
Yeah.
Um, but the Mystics are the ones who basically raised one of our main character Gelflings, Jen.
Mhm.
And they tell Jen, like, you are the one that has to fulfill this prophecy. You have to go find the shard from Agra.
Mhm.
And before he can even tell him like what to do with it, or anything, he dies.
Yeah, and such a, like, because he dies and then the Emperor of the Skeksis dies at the
Dies
same
at the same
time,
time. Mhm.
but it's such an interesting because the Skeksis, like, crumbles into dust,
Mhm.
and the Mystic, like, sparkles away.
Yeah. It's
But
like good.
wait, I was gonna say, when he dies, the Mystics, such a prophetic a line that hit me. He told Jen, "We may not, or we may meet in another life, but not again in this one."
Mhm.
That was pretty. That was a little romantic.
Advanced
A little
advanced for this
romantic, kind
movie?
of. Like that, like, ooh, like, I thought it was very romantic. I mean, it's not supposed to be romantic, but I was like, that is very sweet. That's a sweet thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, peace out, but I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And now you're left with this task and you don't know what to do.
Mom just sent our family a group text. Why is
No,
your phone on silent?
I forgot to turn it off, sorry. I apologize. Mother's always interrupting us. Um, so the movie is gonna be about Jen, the Gelfling, who at this point in time is the only Gelfling left,
Mhm,
right?
apparently,
Because
yeah, part of the prophecy was that the Gelflings were gonna kill the Skeksis. So
yeah.
they instead killed the Gelflings first,
Mhm.
except for
Um,
Jen.
yeah. And there's one Skeksis, though, I think it's important mentioning what's his name? Chamberlain? I think
Yeah,
his name's Chamberlain.
Chamberlain.
Um, he is, like, one of the Skeksis that wants to be emperor, doesn't get the chance to because they go into this battle. Once their emperor dies, they have to, like, duel it out by knocking a rock over. The first person to
Battle
knock
of
it
the Stone
over.
or something.
Yeah, and when you see the scene, you thought it was gonna be really cool because they got these cool swords, and then all they're doing is trying to knock a rock over.
Well, they're puppets. They can't do much.
I know, but
Like,
let's make it a little more exciting.
mm,
And then what happens when the next one dies? You gotta get a new
battle
rock?
again. Oh, but see, that's the thing is I kind of understood it that it was like they just because you can see the rock has been hit before, like there's
Yeah.
cuts in it. I just understood it that this one who did it now, like
Mhm.
really, he did something amazing. Like he knocked
Oh,
the rock over. I thought it was just like
gotcha.
whoever gets the deepest cut.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
There's where we could have used some narration,
yeah, true.
clarification.
Yeah. But Chamberlain dies. He loses the battle, and they
Mhm.
basically banish him. And
Yeah,
when they banish him, they, like, strip
assault
him of all
him.
his clothes. Yeah, it's a very dark scene. It's very scary. Like,
Yeah.
and this is a kids movie,
Yeah,
I'm
they're, like,
assuming.
ripping his clothes. First of all, they're ripping his clothes off and he's screaming,
Yeah.
but then when he's also, like, naked, he just
Mhm.
looks very actually, you know what he
Disheveled and
looks like?
scary.
Do you remember oh, I have to look it up. Do you remember in Star Wars: Phantom Menace, the guy who owns, uh,
The shop with the
Anakin?
wings.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the wings.
yeah. Who owns Anakin's Hold on, Anakin
It does look the face
Skywalker. That's it.
definitely.
Watu. That's what his name is.
Mm,
He looks. That's what Chamberlain looks like.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And,
funny.
yeah, so you're already gonna get he's gonna be another villain
Hmm.
amongst the Skeksis, I
Yeah,
guess.
and he also does this thing. Like in this movie, I wrote down a lot of the sound effects are creepy, but the creepiest
Mhm,
is Chamberlain does this. Hmm.
mhm. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. Over, like he barely speaks. He
yeah.
just hmm. Huh.
And it's funny because when I heard it this time around, like, I immediately remembered like, the whole
Yeah.
movie came back to me.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like it's almost like I guess you could still call it sense memory because sound is a sense, but like
Mhm.
it just takes you back to that like oh, like literally my back teeth were floating. I did not like it at all.
Yeah, because I couldn't even picture this movie until we watched it again until I heard him. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, now I remember this." And keep in mind, for some reason, we used to watch this a lot.
Yeah, why? I think we
I
just
don't
didn't
know.
have enough or we were just braver as kids. No, because it's still were we braver as kids?
I don't remember it being scary as kids.
I remember it creeping me out.
Mm,
I don't know
yeah,
that I understood what was happening, but I remember being creeped out.
yeah, I don't know why we were watching this.
I don't think we had enough movies.
It could be, and who knows why we chose it again.
But we did watch this quite a bit.
Yeah. So, it starts with or the movie throughout the movie, Jen is on his journey, and first task is he's gotta find the shard from Agra.
Wait.
What?
Sorry, before we get into Jen, can we talk about how Jen is one of the puppets that they did not spend time on?
Mhm.
He is so plain and stiff and has no emotion in his face. Yet when he's like going on this journey to find Agra, all the wide shots, it's clearly just a child, like a human child.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
noted that
so
too.
much movement in this
Mhm.
child walking around. And then when they do the close-ups of Jen, it's like stiff as a board, stiff as a
Yeah.
board.
I also wrote that sometimes his mouth moves and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh yeah,
And it
sometimes he has an
doesn't time with
internal
the narration
no.
and not. Like, sometimes he literally is having a conversation with another Gelfling later that we meet, and
Yeah.
his lips aren't even moving.
Yeah, sometimes it's like an internal dialogue, and then sometimes it's like, oh, he's speaking out loud, but they never say it's an internal dialogue.
Yeah, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like you can skip that. We don't need to hear
We
his
could
thoughts.
skip the whole movie. Sorry.
Anyways,
Mhm.
so he's on this adventure and he's looking for Agra, has no clue who she is, where she is, but somehow ends up at her house randomly. So I don't know how he found her, but he
Fate.
finds her. Yeah. Um, and she's a very creepy character too. Like, she's very
She's
scary looking. She's got one eye that she can
mm-mm,
take in and out to see
mm-mm.
the world.
Agra is queen. I had this down. I totally reacted to her so much different now as an adult. She is life.
Really? I think
I'll
she's
bow
so
down to
scary.
I thought she was funny. She said it like it was. She's walking around with no bra on. And why are her
Oh,
nipples coming
yeah.
out of her
I
shirt?
saw that too. Yeah.
That was a choice by
Yeah.
this part. She didn't need to have nipples coming out, but her
Mhm.
boobies are hanging all down. Like she's
Mhm.
just relaxing. Why are you coming into her house? She's yelling at people. She's stealing stuff later. She tells
Yeah.
it like it is. Loved Agra. Hated her as a
Mhm.
kid. Love her now.
I think she's still scary.
She got hair on her chin. Loved
Yeah.
her.
She the other thing too is she just makes again, with the sound effects in this movie,
Oh
like, she just
yeah.
makes so many noises.
Yeah. Like when she squats down,
As when
she
she
goes,
squats, she's like she's in pain and is gonna
relate,
she's gonna
relate.
die.
Stop selling her. I already love her. Relate to her. Do you
And then
remember?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you remember Owen used to do that really good? Her
Impression
like
of
it,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
We used to make him do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's very scary.
I love
But
her.
she's like, not a wizard, but she's like the
She's
wise
ET's mom.
what?
Do you remember in ET when they dress him up in the
ET has a mom?
no, no, no. Do you remember the look of her? Sorry, I thought you were going to what she looks like. Sorry.
Oh.
Do you remember in ET when they dress ET up in the dress and the wig and the hat?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Agra.
Yeah, true. That's a
Even the
good
way
point.
they walk.
I was like, I don't think ET has a mom.
Oh
But
no, I was just saying. Sorry, I thought you were talking about how she looks. Continue.
yeah, no. But she's like, the wise woman. or I don't even know how you explain it, but you go to her for answers and
I think she's
things
I
and
think she's a like, she can see the future.
oh, can she?
Sh She was the one who was, like, giving him prophecy, like, she can read the stars.
True.
See, we don't know
Yeah.
what's happening in this
Yeah, I
movie.
don't know. Well, anyways, Jen goes to her to get the piece of the shard.
Mhm.
And she has these crystals just randomly in a bag and she's like, "It's one of these, but I have no
Yeah.
clue which one."
Relatable, keeping important
And
things in just a box.
and he's supposed to find one
Mhm.
randomly and the mystics have like, I don't know, powers where they can control stuff with their humming. Is how I see it.
Humming, I think it's just full on singing.
Oh, was it singing? I don't know. But Jen
Humming.
pulls out his like it's like a double end recorder is what it reminded me of.
Sure.
And then I had a bunch of flashbacks of playing recorder in elementary school. But
Hot cross buns.
yeah. And, when he, plays that song, all of a sudden the crystal is growing purple and it's part of the dark crystal. He doesn't
Mhm.
know this yet. So now he's off onto this adventure, but in the middle of Agra like telling him all of this stuff about the three suns meeting, you have to heal the crystal before the three suns meet, right? That's what she says, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise the Skeksis are basically going to rule
Mhm.
forever. And she talks about she saw the last one happen. It was like 1,000 years ago. Like how I don't know how old she is.
She's old. She's just
But
old.
everyone seems like they were still there 1,000 years ago.
But this is Fantasyland. That tracks.
True. And in the middle, you have these, I can't remember the names, but they're like giant beetles. They're the Skeksis, like
So
guard soldier
I
people.
heard the word Gothams.
Is it garlands?
See,
Garlands. I don't know.
this is the thing with kind of sci-fi fantasy. They have all these hard to pronounce names that
Hmm.
you can't really hear them, and then you just hear other people say them, and you're like, "Wait, is it? What
Yeah.
is it?"
Yeah.
I heard Gothams.
Yeah. You know what I put? I
Mm.
put in my notes the big beetle things.
Oh, I put beetle crabs
Oh.
because they're like,
Yeah.
and it got pinchers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those aren't puppets too, are they?
I actually think those are people inside giant
Yeah, that's
costumes.
okay, that's
Yeah,
what I thought too.
yeah.
But they come in, obviously tear down Agra's place because they need to capture Jen
Mhm.
because Jen's the one that's going to take down the Skeksis. But Jen escapes and then goes through like a series of trying to find his way, like what he's trying to do with the shard. He still doesn't know, which
Mm.
doesn't make sense to me.
I, I don't know.
Like you just give him the shard and he's supposed to figure it out.
I think these are one of those like your path will show you your way kind of
Mm,
things.
yeah.
Like you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, as he's going through, what is it, a forest?
Yeah,
Which another part, they did the forest very well. All the
yeah,
creatures and stuff, like it looks really good to me,
yeah.
even though
Looks
it's
great.
like years and years old. Um, but he comes across another Gelfling he meets, Kira.
Hmm. Kira.
Um, and she was one that was saved a long time ago too.
Yeah, and her dog.
Yeah, I'd say it's a dog, but it has
He's
like
like
3 mouths inside
yeah,
and
Fizzwig. He's like a poof.
yeah. And the way he gets around, he rolls into a ball.
Yeah, he's like an angry poof.
Yeah, pretty much. And they link up and now they're gonna go on this adventure together,
Hmm.
essentially.
Hmm.
She and I think as he's going through this journey, they flip back and forth between him and like the Skeksis and what they're doing.
Hmm.
And there's a couple scenes where they're, now that they have this new emperor, there's a scene where they're all eating dinner,
Hmm.
which is a very creepy scene too.
Yeah,
They're done very well, I
yeah,
think. And they have they're called podlings, these other little creatures,
creatures.
but they're like the good, they captured them essentially, turned them into slaves.
Yeah, which is there's just too much going on in this movie.
Well, they never even explain that,
No,
like
but
at
they
all.
do. No, but they
Do
do
they?
though.
Oh, I
Yeah, they
completely missed
do.
it.
No, but that's the thing is It's after dinner. I have it in my notes. It's another one of those.
Is it a narration part?
It's another one of those narration parts. Where is it? I had it in my notes. Oh, it's way farther down.
Yeah,
But
it's where
basically, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's further where they show the whole scenes of taking the essence and all of that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So they do explain the podlings. They just explain it later.
Yeah, way later.
Yeah. So yeah.
But they all, but they all go.
Excuse me, we're recording here, Jason.
Jason is trying to show me notes so I can read it.
Oh my
Go,
goodness.
get out of
We're
here.
recording.
Um, and so
And I'm
they
not cutting that out either. It's staying in the
thanks.
podcast.
That's real life when you have people in your house while you're trying to record.
Jeez.
And so now I just lost my train of thought. Oh, they're at their dinner. They're super creepy. So they're trying to essentially stay. They want to be the rulers, I guess is how you would say it.
I think they just want, yeah, they want to stay alive.
Yeah. So they're trying to do is get that Gelfling, capture them, and they take like the essence from them, which makes them young again, so they don't die off.
Because apparently we needed that part of the
Yeah. It's just thrown in there.
story. They like, yeah, they like put them down in a chair and like make the crystal like take the life out of them. Which, are we
It's
talking
very
about that
scary.
scene now?
Yeah, since we already went into it.
Okay, well, my literal note is, why is this Skexleys? What is it?
Skeksis.
Why is this Skeksis giving us a play-by-play of draining their viral essence? He's literally like, okay, and I put you in the chair, and I'm going to put you down in the chair,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you're going to look into the crystal, and the crystal's going to drop a beam, and the beam's going to come up, and I'm turning it. He's literally giving you a play-by-play of what he is doing, and it's like, yeah, he takes the life out of these little podlings, and then they become the slaves, and then they drink the life.
Yeah, to
The
make them younger
Skeksis.
again.
It's like kind
Death
of a
becomes
little
her.
Death becomes her. Yes, even the purple looks the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very true. Very true.
Guys,
But
this episode's going swimmingly.
you have to see the movie. It really is like if you watch it and you haven't seen it before, you're probably just like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
But Kira and Jen, they team up. She tells the story about how Skeksis killed her family and she grew up with the podlings.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is very interesting. One of my questions is, if she grew up with the podlings, how does she know English?
Did they not teach her English?
The
Do they
podlings
speak
don't speak
English?
English.
We're assuming that.
Well, but when she goes to take Jen to the podlings and have their little party, he keeps asking, how do you say thank you? How do you say this? And she's like, oh, slip slap. Oh, split fish. And any animal she talks, no, I'm just saying, like, any animal she talks to, she's like, kikali. It's like not a real language, but then she speaks English to Jen.
True. I don't know.
So it's like, who taught you how to speak English, girl?
That wasn't in the narration.
That wasn't in the narration.
But I mean, that really is the movie. It's just different parts of them trying to get to the castle to heal the shard. There's a part where they find like the Gelfling ruins that actually tells them the story of what the shard is. So now they know they've got to take it to the castle and heal the crystal.
Yeah, I had another cute line from there because they come up against, or they come up on like some ruins where it like literally says the story, and Jen says, oh, they're words, and Kira says, what are words? And he says, or no, he says they're writing, and she says, what is writing? And he says, words that stay.
Yeah.
Ooh. There's some good one-liners in here.
There is, but I don't think it makes up for the rest of the movie.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, there's some things that really hit me, I guess, because I couldn't understand. I don't know. I was paying attention real hard. I really was.
I see that.
So.
I see that. But in that scene where they're looking at the ruins and figure out now what they have to do, Chamberlain comes in and is trying to trick them because he wants he wants to get back into his group.
Yeah, and he wants back in.
Yeah, he tries to bring them to the castle and say that they're here for peace and ultimately capture them, and he'll be back in the circle.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Jen and Kira are gonna go to the castle, and they summon these creatures. What are they called?
Land
I put
striders. Land
yes,
striders.
which I put remember we were talking I said they were the wheelers,
Mhm.
rabbit wheelers, basically. They look like
They are terrifying. They look like
yeah.
somebody they look like somebody made a really terrible rabbit sock puppet and then decided to make it ginormous and put a human inside so you can see their legs.
Mhm. They're not that bad.
No, these are terrifying, Nicole. Like you
Their
can
face is
see
creepy.
their face is creepy, long tusks, little
Mhm.
front finger, huge. You can see that.
Yeah.
Is Jason turning on the TV right now? Is is he serious right now?
Jason, I can hear all that, and so can everybody else.
And this is staying in the podcast because
Ugh.
I'm not cutting it out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Anyways, I can see the human bodies inside those costumes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Really? You didn't see
Mm-mm.
that it was just somebody hunched over on all fours?
Well, that's why I said it's the wheelers.
But that's what I'm saying. Like these are as terrifying as you think they are.
Yeah. All the creatures in this movie, I feel like, are terrifying.
Yeah.
I still had nightmares, and I probably will tonight.
Yeah. Well, we watched it enough in the middle of the beginning of the day that maybe we won't.
Okay. I'll just watch a Disney movie after. So they go on these land striders, get to the castle,
Mm-hmm.
and they meet the beetle things, the Skeksis soldiers
The
that have like a
Gothams.
whole yeah, they have a whole pod of the little podlings that they're about to capture. Or they've
That they
already
did
captured,
capture.
but yeah. The Lancasters fight the little beetle. I really need to learn the name. The beetle things
I think they're called
and
Gothams.
Gotham. Okay. Well, and
I'll look it up while you're
yeah,
talking.
she tries to rescue them. And all of a sudden, she reveals that she's got wings, which came out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
which
Like,
it's because she like to get away from them, they jump off a cliff and then in the
yeah,
slowest descent possible,
yeah, very slow.
she has wings and then he says, "I don't have wings." And she's like, "Of course." Which again, she says, "Of course because you're a boy." How do
Yeah,
you know that, Kira?
yeah,
You've never like you were such a small baby when your parents died. You've never seen a gelfling your whole life basically.
yeah,
Why do you know that, Kira?
yeah. But speaking of slow, this entire movie, the creatures are slow. Everybody. Like the Skeksis walk around super slow.
Nicole, they're
They walk
puppets.
slow. I know, but it's just like so I actually got frustrated because it's just throughout I forgot that. So throughout the whole movie, the Mystics are heading their way to the castle because they're
Oh
preparing
yeah.
for this like um
The merger
yeah.
or the alignment,
And
I think.
yeah, and then it takes them the entire movie to get to the castle. And they keep
Yeah,
showing it. And it
they are
just frustrates me.
slow.
It's like it's going way too slow. Like I don't even understand why you're showing this.
Because we need to know that they're on the way, which is funny because when you get to the end, I have a comment about their slowness.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
But we're here. She's got wings. They made it out alive. Now they're gonna sneak into the castle.
And our fact checker, myself, they're
Mm.
called. Oh wait, hold on, I can't remember now. They're called Gartham, the Garthams.
Garthams.
So I was
Hmm.
close with Gothams,
Yeah, kind of.
Garthams. Continue.
They get into the castle.
Mhm.
Somehow Chamberlain has found them, captures Kira to take back to the Skeksis, and now Jen is trapped under a bunch of rocks because he collapsed the roof on top of them.
Great summary, Nicole.
Yeah, it's perfect. Speaking of that, Jen is very I don't like his character in this movie. I don't
Jen's
like that.
boring.
Yeah. And he doesn't know how to do anything and he's not very like gung ho. I don't know. I can't.
No, that is
He's much
actually
like a baby.
that's actually very true because I was thinking about this whole thing. This movie to me, I think warranted like I'm not all for super long movies. This is already like a 1 hour and 35-minute movie.
Mhm.
This movie could have used another 20 minutes for us to get to know Jen a little bit more because I actually thought literally in that same scene where he like or Kira gets captured, I was like, I don't feel for this guy at all. Like, I'm not really
Mhm.
rooting for him to solve whatever it is because I don't know what's going on, and neither does he.
Mhm.
Like, I think it could have gone with a couple more scenes of like actually getting to know Jen
Yeah.
and why because like essentially he is the chosen one. But I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not special.
I feel like Kira should have been the chosen one.
But
She
even
does a
Kira, I
much
don't
better
really.
job.
Yeah, but like Kira, I don't even really know anything about. Like, I just don't
Uh,
feel for these guys. Like, I'm like, sure, like I hope you get there, but like
yeah, very true.
I could walk away from this movie feeling nothing about you. Like, I'm Agra's my girl. Like,
She's like not even really in it.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I walked away being like, I love this other character that's barely in it versus our heroes.
Yeah. Well, eventually he gets himself out.
Eventually.
And they're sucking the essence from Kira. Agra's in the background. She's in a cage too, which I don't really understand why they captured her because
Because
they seemed like
no, the Garthams are dumb. They don't know what they're capturing. They just went to go get
um,
whatever they thought they were. That's what they say. They're like, you
mm.
idiots. You
Yeah,
brought
but
us
why
the
didn't
wrong
they let her
person.
go? They just
You see?
all these movies were just tying them into other movies.
Pirates of the Caribbean. You brought us the wrong person.
Yeah.
But it's true. Kidnappers can bring you the wrong person if there's many people about.
It's true, but they just left her there. And she tells Kira because she can talk to all the animals, apparently. And
Apparently.
she does this call, lets all the animals out, breaks free. It's chaos, kills one of the Skeksis, and now she's free from the essence draining.
But leaves Agra in her cage.
Yeah, I noticed that too. She just kind of walked away.
Like, where's Jen? That way. Okay.
Yeah.
Freed everybody else here, including myself, but you stay,
Yeah.
Agra.
Yeah. And they go through a couple scenes just of them, in the back hallways, traveling through the castle, going through, and they come to the room where the crystal actually is.
Hmm.
And again, with the narration, internal dialogue, he's like, "Oh, this is what I meant to do. This is."
Yeah.
I just need to cut that out, I think.
But also
But
still, like, this is what I'm here for. But what are you here for?
yeah.
Like, he still doesn't know.
Hmm. But he figures it out
Yeah,
eventually that he
eventually.
needs to pick that shard and jab it into the crystal, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of slow, this part is slow too, and it drives me crazy because he literally needs to just put it in there, and then he's looking around.
Mhm.
Everything's moving slowly. The suns are even joining too slow.
Yeah.
Like it really irritated me.
It's tension.
Yeah. But the Skeksis end up stabbing Kira in this whole
Well,
commotion.
okay, you need to explain that better, Nicole. Come on. You just
What?
jumped a lot of Yes, he walks into this room that the crystal, but when Jen walks in, he's by himself.
Well, yeah. And
And
then
he's
because
sitting
it's
there.
taking so freaking long,
Then
all
the
the Skeksis
Skeksis
come
come
in.
in.
Yeah.
Then Kira comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't just all of a sudden jump to
I
like, and then the
needed
Skeksis stab Kira.
Yeah, no, I need to because it's going too slow.
Well, speaking of slow, here's one of my slow comments. When they stab Kira, because
Mhm.
she is trying to help Jen.
Yeah, which she could have just used her wings and flew, but okay.
Apparently they're not really flying wings, they're just falling slowly wings.
Mm.
The Skeksis stab Kira, and then they just all sit and watch her die. Nobody
Yeah.
tries to stop Jen at all. They're like, look at her. Okay, she's dead. Jen. Like,
That's what I'm saying. The whole scene is slow.
it's a pie. Like, they're literally in a circle. She's dying in the middle, and they're like,
Mhm. Mhm. But before she dies, she's able to throw the shard to Jen.
See, you're skipping so many things.
It's true. Before she dies, she
It is
throws
true,
it to
Nicole,
Jen, and Jen has the shard and still hasn't yet to put it in the crystal because he's watching her die too.
okay.
Like, just shove it in there. What? I don't understand what's taking so long.
All right.
But okay, now Kira's dead, and Jen shoved the shard in the crystal,
Okay.
and the castle begins to fall down, and the mystics have arrived. Finally,
No. See,
inside
this
the
is
castle. Yeah.
But this is okay, but this is my third slow question. The Mystics arrived a good 20 minutes ago
Oh, well,
out front
yeah.
the castle.
Yeah.
They are just now, while the capital's come. I literally have slowpoke wise ones coming in as soon as everything is being destroyed. That is
Well,
literally my note.
I mean, I
Word
guess
for word.
they don't really need to be there until that all happens anyways.
But they probably could have come in and at least challenged the Skeksis, but then they're just like, everything's done for us. We'll just
Yeah.
come in.
I don't think they can challenge, can they?
I don't know.
They're way too slow.
Again, didn't learn anything about anybody in this movie, so I have no clue.
True. But once the shard goes in, all the yeah, the castle falls down. Skeksis and mystics become one creature,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like what is it? More like a god type
I wrote down the
creature, I guess.
Snowmiser.
The what?
Do you know that Christmas movie? I'm Mr. Heatmeister. I'm Mr. Mm-hmm.
No.
The fans will get it. The fans will get it. They look like the Snowmiser from that from that Christmas claymation movie.
No, it's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
They're still creepy.
Okay, I'll look them up for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
They're super creepy. But they tell Jen, basically, you saved the day. We thank you for your service. Everyone's won. And
Can you
Kira.
see this guy?
What?
Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And they tell Jen to hold Kira close to him, and all of a sudden she comes to life. And
apparently they have powers.
Yeah, that's really the end of the movie. Because now the whole land has turned beautiful. Like you got blue water, there's green grass. Whereas before it looked like you were on, I don't know,
a desert,
but the sun never was out in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, for how we do our podcasts, I basically judge everything off of our Space Jam podcast. Because I feel like our Space Jam one wasn't the best, but this might be this might be the one I start judging everything else off of. Because what?
Hey, this movie, that's exactly what this movie is what?
I know.
It's a movie. You need to see the movie. That's going to be my recommendation. If you have not seen this movie, you need to watch it so you can understand the chaos that just happened in the last 30 minutes.
Somebody's going to come back and be like, you clearly weren't watching the right movie. This is what happened. And it's going to be like the simplest. We'll be like, oh, we missed all of that.
Yeah. But with that being said, Brittany, do you think this is nostalgia or still holds up?
The quickest nostalgia I've ever said on this show.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just nostalgia.
I mean, well, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I mean, again, the production design, the puppets, it really is an atmosphere. Like, the world is quite great, and I appreciate that about it, but everything else, I'm like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a nice movie to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, meh.
What's the plot?
What is happening? Yeah. Is it a kids movie?
What is it even rated? You said that last time, and I thought that was a good question because
it's probably 1982. It's probably G.
Were the ratings even out yet?
I don't know. But I mean, this movie is creepy.
Yeah, I don't think we sold it on the creepiness though. Because like we keep on saying creepy, but it's like, what about it is creepy?
It's creepy. The way they look, the music, the sound effects, everything is creepy. The colors are creepy too. It's very dark.
It is very dark. I think it's the first when I type in what is the dark crystal rated, like the first things that pop up is the dark crystal suitable for kids? Is it too scary for kids? It's too dark. The dark crystal may be too intense for your little one.
I would agree.
Agreed.
Although
Agreed.
I'm pretty sure we were watching this in like first grade. So
100%. Well, I mean, it was 82. I mean, way before either of us were born. So we clearly came upon it at a young age.
Yeah, and we used to watch it a lot, so we'll let you decide if you wanna show it to your children.
Yeah. You be the judge.
Yes. But thank you everyone for tuning in on this crazy episode of this random movie that we have chosen for the week. We do appreciate you being here and watching it. If
Mhm.
you have not watched this movie though, you should watch it. It is worth a watch, I think, if you haven't seen it, just to see what was happening back in
Yeah.
1982.
Clearly everybody was on drugs.
Yeah. And next week we're still doing the same theme, I believe.
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah, I think so, because we did miss a couple of weeks this month, so
Yeah.
I think we should just continue it.
Yeah.
Let's ugh.
These movies are hard to watch again, clearly because they're creepy.
You know what? Let's just, because we did Jim Henson and Frank Oz this week,
The
let's just roll
Labyrinth.
right into the Labyrinth next
Okay.
week.
Sounds good to me. So stay
Let's
tuned for next week when we
talk
watch
about
The
some tight
Labyrinth.
pants.
And on that note, we hope you all have a great movie night.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.